Hello and welcome to South Asia Today, a show that provides you the glimpses of South Asia. I'm your host Karim Zimik. Here are headlines. India-Russia commit to deepening of military ties to ramp up integrated production of military equipment. Nepal begins vaccinating citizens with Chinese COVID-19 vaccine Verocell. An Afghanistan food festival organized in Hyderabad to promote culture, trade. Let's begin the show. New Delhi and Moscow have committed to further strengthen their military ties despite Washington's looming sanctions on Delhi under CAATSA for purchasing S-400 missile system. In Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov's visit to New Delhi this week, the two sides said that talks were underway to make more military equipment together. This comes after Russian arms export that has been a key to Indian defence witnessed a drop in last couple of years, with New Delhi exploring other markets including the US for major defence acquisitions.
Rapidly evolving diplomatic equations and the formation of new alliances globally will not have any impact on the Indo-Russia bilateral relationship, the foreign ministers' meeting this week clearly indicated, quashing all assumptions of ties between the two at crossroads following India's growing proximity with Washington in the past few years. In fact, the two sides said that they are exploring the scope of boosting the joint military production under Prime Minister Narendra Modi's ambition of Atmanirbhar Bharat, or self-dependent India. Russia, which has remained the biggest defense exporter to New Delhi over the years, said its commitment towards Indian partnership is unfazed by Washington's entry into Indian defense needs and the threats of sanctions it brings along.
Да, на самом деле, это не я отмечал, что Соединенные Штаты оказывают давление на Индию, да и на любую другую страну, которая имеет контракты с Россией или планирует подписать контракты с Россией на поставку вооружений. Это публично заявлено Соединенными Штатами, без всяких стеснений, все это хорошо знают. Но также хорошо мы знаем и ответную реакцию со стороны Индии. Мы сегодня эти американские заходы не обсуждали, мы подтвердили нашу нацеленность на развитие военно-технического сотрудничества. У нас действует межправительственная комиссия по ВТС, у нее есть свои планы, в том числе и обсуждаются перспективы дополнительного производства российской военной техники на территории Индии в рамках концепции «Делай в Индии» и в рамках концепции «Самостоятельной Индии». Так что здесь я не почувствовал каких-либо колебаний со стороны наших индийских друзей и партнеров.
The United States has expressed deep reservations over New Delhi's $5.4 billion deal with Russia to purchase 5 S-400 missile systems. India has already made the first tranche of payment of $800 million despite the US warning of sanctions. New Delhi, however, has clearly stated in the past that it has no intentions of straining ties with the US and expects a waiver on the grounds of enhancing its defense system against the potential threats from a belligerent China. Russia has played a key role in building the Indian defense system and continues to be a major defense partner. And the ties have graduated from a buyer-seller relationship to joint development of T-90 tanks and Su-30 MKI aircraft, supply of MiG-29K aircraft and Kamov-31 and Mi-17 helicopters. Both have together upgraded MiG-29 aircraft and developed supersonic BrahMos missile. Not just defense, the two sides are also working at enhancing economic cooperation and improving connectivity.
We are both cognizant of the multipolar and rebalanced nature of international relations today. We both understand the importance of our relationship to global peace, security and stability. Our bilateral cooperation remains energetic and forward-looking. We talked about long-standing partnership in nuclear, space and defense sectors. We assess positively our economic cooperation noting the new opportunities in Russian Far East. We spoke of connectivity, including the international north-south transport corridor and the Chennai-Vladivostok Eastern Maritime Corridor.
While a growing bitterness between Kremlin and the White House is being seen as a potential deal spoiler for India, many observers around the world see it as an opportunity for New Delhi. India, which has maintained its preference for individual relationships, is needed by both heavyweights. Experts believe while the US needs New Delhi's sustained support in achieving its objectives of countering Chinese influence in Indo-Pacific, Russia's declining arms export is in desperate need of Indian save. India, on another side, believes in peaceful relations with both to meet its economic, defense, and strategic needs.
Moving on. If the COVID-19 pandemic challenged the health system of the world and tested its crisis readiness, it also unmasked the opportunists and villains masquerading as champions of humanity. While benevolence of countries like India has been one exemplary story, China, on the other side, has emerged as a brutal opportunist who is imposing its vaccine on people. Nepalese students are scared of missing out on education and employment, hence they have obliged and are taking Chinese vaccines.
These people standing in queue to receive Chinese COVID vaccine have no idea about its efficacy, immunogenicity, or the coercive diplomacy being played around it by Beijing. The safety concerns persist and enough data is not available. Despite that, they are being inoculated. Nepal has received 800,000 varicella vaccine doses from China after its first phase carried out 1 million inoculations with India-donated vaccine. This time, however, the story is not the same. Disregarding the process, Nepali authorities have asked students studying in China to get themselves administered with it first, as China won't give them entry unless they have taken Chinese vaccine and mandatorily the Chinese vaccine. Students are scared, but they don't seem to have any option.
To be completely honest, I'm quite a bit nervous about it because, we don't have really good feedbacks about it yet. So, yeah, finger crossed.
And while China has been coercing people into taking vaccines it has produced, its own people at home are raising doubts over its efficacy. Reportedly, people in Wuhan have expressed serious reservations against vaccine inoculation. Chinese vaccines that have already been rejected by a few countries are yet to receive a WHO nod. A Brazilian trial into one of the Chinese vaccines had shown its efficacy a little over just 50%. And while the world clearly seems to reject it, the Communist Party of China is imposing it on the vulnerable, poor, or those under its debt trap. It has also targeted countries whose vaccine programs are dependent entirely on others. The Nepali students too have found themselves at the receiving end of this satanic campaign. No Chinese vaccine means an immediate and an indefinite barrier in their education. Career prospects will receive a major blow. Observers say Beijing has calculated it all.
I just want to go back to China, and as I've heard that the students that take the Chinese vaccine, they are only able to go back, so I just want to take the vaccine.
China has not been walking the talk when it comes to fostering international collaboration to fight the pandemic. While its mouthpieces have been reiterating the script suggesting China's intent to help all, the actions on the ground have reflected a contrary position. It has not only imposed its vaccines on smaller nations using its hard power, the exclusionary steps it is resorting to has made things even clearer. A red supply chain, they say, is what China ambitions for, and the initial setbacks owing to more trust being shown in American or India-made vaccines has made it desperate and even more despotic.
Now we'll take a look at some happenings in Asia in our segment called Asia Watch. Electric vehicle companies in China are hoping to cash in as the country targets carbon neutrality by 2060 and environmental factors increasingly become a consideration for consumers in the world's largest car market. China's government has heavily promoted new energy vehicles such as battery-powered, plug and petrol electricity hybrid and hydrogen fuel cell cars in response to chronic air pollution, spurring interest from technology companies and investors alike. Sales in China of so-called new energy vehicles, which include battery electric, plug-in hybrid and hydrogen fuel cell cars, are expected to grow 30 to 40% to around 1.8 million units in 2021, according to top auto industry body China Association of Automobile Manufacturers and Analysts. And China, which subsidies the EV sector, forecasts NEVs will make up 20% of its annual auto sales by 2025, around 5% in 2020. For some environmentalists such as Zheng Myungyan from Greenpeace, EV proponents should not get carried away with its environmental properties. China will cut energy intensity, a ratio that measures how much is used to drive economic growth, by around 3% in 2021 in a push to meet climate goals, but stopped short of setting a cap on energy use in its new development plan released earlier this month. China Media Group launched a dozen new channels on its multimedia application, Yangshipin. The 12 channels of the Yangshipin app cover comprehensive news, finance, art and entertainment, sports, law, the military, global affairs and more, vertically targeting different audience groups. After the channels are launched, CMG's new media section and traditional programs will realize in-depth collaboration in both planning and program production. What's more, the Yangshipin platform is expected to present users with more featured and tailored content. CMG Editor-in-Chief Shen Haixiong and the heads of various program centers attended the launch ceremony. China's first state-level 5G new media platform, Yangshipin, integrates numerous resources from various departments of CMG to provide users with a consummate media experience. So far, the app has been downloaded 250 million times and 65 million registered users, reaching a maximum number of 10 million daily active users. Tigers were fed frozen chickens, popsicles and entees to splash in a wading pool at Thai Zoo this week as temperatures hit sweltering levels. Around 50 of the big cats live at the Tiger Kingdom Park in Chiang Mai, 700 km north of Bangkok, according to Tiger Handler Coordinator Pachara Chandit. It's a full-time job managing the needs of so many large felines, but somebody has got to do it. 2 tigers splashed in a wading pool, jumping to try and capture a bunch of leaves held on a stick above the water by a handler. Twice daily during the summer months, the tigers are also fed chicken encased in ice blocks. Thailand's hot season began at the end of February and temperatures are expected to rise as high as 35 degrees Celsius. Moving on. Japanese companies continue to surprise with the innovative technology that makes life easier for the people. Recently, construction companies in Japan use aluminum conductor CV cables for power transmission in the building. On the other side, Shimizu Corporation construct apartments with wood and concrete to withstand natural disaster like earthquake, a report.
Japan uses the latest technology in the construction industry. The focus remains high on to use quality material for power transmission in the building. At this construction site, Raku cable, a high-performance low-voltage aluminum conductor CV cable, is being used. The cable is developed by Furukawa Electric. Generally, copper cables are used in the buildings, but the builders now prefer to use aluminum cables, which are comparatively soft and light in weight. The cabling requires less manpower and is convenient to fix.
アルミケーブルは初めて使ったんですけど、とても作業しやすく軽く感じましたね。すごくいいと思います。銅ケーブルと比べて非常に軽く感じました。銅ケーブルの場合、倍ぐらいの力が必要になりますので、多分すごい そういう面ではいいと思います。
This is a machine which helps the cables to pass through the building. Aluminium cable can easily be installed on this machine.
従来銅ケーブルでは4人作業にかかっていたところを楽々アルミケーブルでは2人で作業することができました。
Ensuring worker safety while handling heavy machinery at construction sites remains a priority in Japan.
施工面では作業員さんの肉体的負担が軽減でき、作業性が高まることで労働災害を未然に防ぐことにつながります。運搬車から荷下ろしされた後の構内でのドラム運搬は人力によるものですが、ドラムの方向転換からセット、沿線を見ても軽量である利点が発揮され、作業員さんの肉体的負担が軽減されていることを実感いたしました。すべてが銅ケーブルより優れているわけではありません。特性を理解し、特徴を見極め、お客様のニーズに合った設備をご提供するための選択肢が増えたことに心強さを感じております。
Many Japanese construction companies prefer the latest technology. Aluminium cable, developed by Furukawa Electric, contributes to ensure the safety of construction workers across Asia. Next, we take you to the luxurious apartments built by Shimizu Corporation in Nagoya City of Japan. The texture of wood and concrete are very fashionable and meets the impression of typical Japanese image. Japan has a rich heritage of wood use. The wood as a construction material is progressing in the country. The growing usage of this sustainable material boosts its cultivation, hence encouraging sustainable environment.
こちらが居住スペースになります。玄関入りますと、こちらが CLT の耐震壁になりまして、木の木造の木がそのまま仕上げになっているという木質空間でございます。次こちら入りまして、こちらが大きな部屋になっております。
The living space feels the texture and warmth of the wood. In addition, by separating the rooms, it becomes private space.
木造のいいところとコンクリート構造のいいところ、こちらを両方考えまして、ベストなバランスの建物を作ってあげるということを考えました。1点目は構造的なメリットを生かすというところと、あとは見え方ですね、外観内観含めまして、構造のコンクリートのいいところ、木造のいいところを生かしたと、そういったことになっております。共同住宅という建物の用途上、人が住む空間としまして、やっぱ木に包まれると安らぎといいますか、快適性が感じられると。
Construction in Japan focuses on high standard safety against disasters like earthquake, fire, etc. Under such circumstance, the latest material of Shimizu Corporation is used.
建物の構造体に木材を活用する技術を使っております。当社で開発しましたスリム耐火ウッドの柱と梁、CLT という木材を直交で重ねた部材、これを耐震の壁、床に活用しております。地震に強い木材、火災に強い木材、そういうものを開発する大変さがありました。石膏ボードとあと耐火シート、こういった二重の燃えない仕組みを柱梁に取り入れて耐火試験を繰り返し建物の構造に使えるようにしております。
Shimizu Corporation previously designed and built apartments in Indonesia. This corporation demonstrated high-quality housing around the world. In addition, this concrete and wood structure is designed to impersonate traditional Japanese culture and also earthquake and fire resistance. This reliable and secure Japanese apartments will attract global attention.
In our cultural section today, we take you to the southern Indian city of Hyderabad, where a 10-day-long Afghan food and cultural festival is being organized. Exhibitors and chefs from Afghanistan showcased the country's traditional food items and handicrafts. Take a look at this move to strengthen cultural ties between India and Afghanistan.
India is a home to a large number of Afghans who have migrated here due to ongoing conflict back home. Settled in metropolitan cities across India, the Afghans find themselves safe as they easily mingle with the Indian society and its culture. In a move to promote Afghan culture and its food in India, a 10-day-long Afghanistan Food Festival is being organized in India's southern city of Hyderabad. Chefs from Afghanistan cooked and showcased delicious Afghani dishes along with a variety of dry fruits and a number of ornaments stuffed with precious stones.
I came here for food festival through City Foundation. I serve different Afghan foods here. They found something different. Like example, they are found it some less spicy or less masala, which is exactly is not too much masala like Indian food.
We are very pleased to have this 10 days food festival here in Hyderabad. In this food festival, we have Afghan foods here that the Afghan chefs who have been invited from Kabul, and they have come all the way from Kabul here, and they've been cooking together with the executive chef of Trident Hotel. So in this way, we are trying to promote culture between the two countries, and it is part of our cultural exchange program. Through these events, these initiatives, people are connected with each other, more understanding is being developed, friendship is more become strengthened and stronger. So we already appreciate the strongest relationship that we have between us, the two countries, and we further want to strengthen and expand this cultural ties between the two countries.
Afghan kofta, korma, Afghan kaddu burani, Afghani burger, kebabs and variety of naans were put on display. The locals enjoy eating lip-smacking Afghani dishes.
The idea of this particular festival is to connect, create a bridge between Afghanistan and Telangana. And जैसे कि बहुत सारे देशों के साथ मैंने काम किया हुआ है, and the experience that I have is the easiest way to communicate with people is through food.
The festival not only enhanced the cultural ties between India and Afghanistan, but improved people-to-people contacts.
Main purpose of these festivals, events, are to further also expand the trade and business between the two countries. We already have vendors who have come from Afghanistan, and they have their products on display here at the Trident Hotel. We have dry fruits being displayed here, carpets displayed, and jewelry and the lapis lazuli pottery handicrafts.
Exhibitors from Afghanistan also set up their stalls at the festival, enabling visitors to buy exquisite pieces of handicraft and handloom products like carpets and jewelry. The exhibitors from Afghanistan firmly believe that the festival has opened gates for them to a large Indian market.
It's time for me to wrap up today's episode. We will be back next week at the same time. This is Karim signing off on behalf of the entire production team of South Asia Today. Goodbye and take care.